Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Reassembly with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to our ever-evolving living asteroid. In today's episode, we are going to take steps to become the ultimate living asteroid. I really want today to get the factory and start the production of a little colony on ourselves. Yes, we're going to be producing a mobile colony, which we will try and defend as best we can. And as such, I've started to expand our stone. We now have a lot more rock on the very front of our ship for protection, and eventually this is going to encompass our entire being. The one problem with this is that all of this rock can support vegetation, so trying to avoid seeds is going to be something important. But regardless, haha, there we are. We now have a few little cities growing on us already. Fantastic. As many of you noticed, and I actually noticed in the editing, each time I spawn a new city, I actually get a good amount of credits. So doing this is actually a good way to farm some credits. There we are, a couple buildings growing on us already, and each of them should have their own core. The cores will of course produce resource over time, which we can harvest as soon as we have a factory, which is called a fracture in this one, so we're going to grab that right away. Now we have the fracture, we should be able to start draining resource. I also had another idea, which I don't know if it'll actually work or not, but I'm really curious about. Because the cores produce resource, so every ship will produce 1 resource per second, how about if we start spawning in ships which are literally just a core, nothing else but a core? Would that work? Would it not work? I'm really interested to see if that would actually be a good thing. Now, annoyingly, how we've built our vessel, we can't actually get this in the middle. Do we have any which can turn a 2 into a 1? We do, okay. So if we do this a bit creatively... Oh no, no we don't. I need it to be... one end of it needs to have more connection points than the other, and I don't think we've got any like that. So, how are we going to add this here? I guess we could just do this for now, until we have enough ship resource for a second, because obviously right now we can't even afford this one. But what I'm going to be doing, you see, is removing the sub-fractures between our spawnings of the new buildings, because they take up a lot of ship resource each. Although it's only 30, I want to cover the entire asteroid with them eventually, so we're going to need loads of them, which is going to be quite expensive for us. That wouldn't be quite enough. Oh, I don't want to remove any of my weapons or thrusters though, but it seems like I'm going to have to. Well, that's that for now. So yeah, the concept is make a ship which is only a core and a single block, and call that Spore. Sure, it's now called Spore, so now we can produce that. Which means these can be just spammed out for very, very low amounts of resource, which then produce resource to spam out more, and then we can sell them for credits. That's at least the concept I'm going with. I'm hoping it'll work. Now what I should do is actually fill in this, just to make sure our factory doesn't try and spawn them inside of ourselves, because that would be really, really bad. I also need this. Ah, we don't have enough ship resource. Do you have enough credits for an upgrade? Not yet. So for now then, let's just sell more of the thrusters, which kind of sucks, but well. But there. Actually, what I could do is this. That goes there, that goes there. So now I can hold an additional 1,000 resource, which is a pretty big deal. As soon as I have the factory, I should start draining from the cities on the side of me. Let's see if it actually works. Factory online. Do they not produce? No, look at that one. There's 1,000 resource. Oh, is it because I'm not close enough? Do I need the extended range thing? That would actually make a lot of sense. However, I'm not sure. Whoa, that's really good. However, I'm not sure which one of these is the extended range. The converter, 2,250 credits needed. So that'll be in the future. So for now, we'll just go about our business. And because I can I spawn in a couple of those little cores? And because they don't have any thrusters, they technically count as a station, which I didn't even think about, which means they should be spawning in like this. Oh, that's actually a little bit worrying. If they count as a station, does that mean there's a chance of spawning in these when I go to a new location? When I unlock a damaged station, that's actually quite possible. So they are generating resource. Yeah, I think the problem is we just haven't got enough range, since our core's in the middle of the asteroid segment on the front. Yeah, we definitely need that converter. So let's go ahead and try and save up for it then. So let's go to the next station. Now, when we're fighting, of course, we want to make sure our rocks are facing the enemy at all times, because these have a ludicrous amount of health, but the rest of us is quite frail, so this needs to be extended eventually, so we have a bigger shield. So let's get to that station slowly and continue. So for now then, just to be safe, let's delete the spore. The spore doesn't exist anymore, we don't create it or anything. Instead, we will create the original ship. There we have it, we now have the converter, and I'm very happy to say it's definitely worth having our little colony on our ship, because just look at how much resource I can produce even when I'm not draining it from the other asteroids. It's constantly giving me 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, it's just ridiculous. I'm also happy to say you do get credits when you spawn in a building rather, onto your own ship. It's just I was simply missing some of the numbers popping up because of everything going on. Getting a lot of credits for this. Now, we have increased our maximum ship size, so we're going to do that right now. But first, what I think I'll do is go into our little baby ship mode, just so we can escape, because we're currently completely full of buildings and everything, which isn't a good thing, actually, because it means trying to upgrade your ship, it doesn't always grow properly, it doesn't always build up properly. Then let's get somewhere away from the city. Just for now. If we can. Apparently we've spread quite far and wide, honestly. Let's say here. And let's start building up. Now, the thing I want to do now is move all this back for a second. I want to protect the core a little bit better, because although it's sandwiched between tungsten and the rock, that isn't as good as we can actually get it. We can easily completely encase it in stone, which is my eventual goal. So let's build this back a bit so we're protecting the sides, add loads more sails, and then think of a better way to use these sub-fractures. Now, originally, I was only going to add a little bit to our ship, but instead I've decided to go completely the way of the asteroid, and we've completely protected ourselves with stone. Also, this means we've got a lot of surface area now for some new cities. However, I have noticed a bit of a problem. Some of the new city cores aren't actually spawning brand new cities at all. In fact, they're just sitting there. Now, that's not really a huge problem, because these still produce resource, which we are still absorbing. However, it does mean that the new cities aren't protecting me, which is a little bit sad. Have we reached some form of limit for how many buildings we can have in this world? I'm not too sure what's going on there. Either way, we're just going to continue to move forward, hopefully get a load more credits by the end of this, and get some drones. Okay, let's destroy some of our cities, our buildings. Now will cities spawn? No, they won't. That's very, very curious. I'm not quite sure why that's the case, honestly. Not sure in the slightest. Also, can I actually make myself? No, I do actually have enough resource. Excellent. Well, that's a bit curious. I just logged out and logged back in to see if we could start spawning in buildings again, which I am now convinced we've hit a limit for, and this happened. Not quite sure what's going on there. If we can't grow our own little villages, we will simply build them, and now with far more lasers. There we have it, one more damaged station under our control, and we almost have enough credits now to purchase the first set of drones. So what I'm trying to do, as I just kind of hinted at, is build a city, a little village on both sides of our little asteroid, so that we can start harvesting credits via the use of the cells, I think they're called, or whatever they're actually called, the named items in the thing, the cells, yes indeed, to generate resource to then use to actually make some credits, because clearly at the moment we can't spawn in more cities. I'm not quite sure why this is, but it's just happening, so we've got to make do for what we have. Doing this as well gives me an excuse to have things on the outside, such as a lot of the weapons and such, which won't work completely well on the inside. I've also decided to make things look a bit more natural over time, so as we encompass a lot of these little villages in stone, at least some of it, I'll try and make it look like a more natural formation, as the bits we have available, the solid square and the spiky triangle, really don't make natural looking shapes very easily, unless you build very large shapes, which we simply can't do at the moment. So for now, let's just laser these down. Don't really know why I'm so focused on actually destroying all these, since they really won't do too much damage to us. But even so, let's carry on. Let's get a few more damage stations. There you go. You can have all that credit. And then we can hopefully get some drones by the end of the episode, which would be fantastic. The ones I really want to see are these swarming shards. I mean, they all look really cool, but the swarming shards... Oh no, these are the ones, the defending shards. They have a really weird attack. I just saw them attacking an agent from our little villages, so I would love to see what the defending shards are like. However, that would be a lot more credits, and I'm not really in the mood to just sit there next to a city and farm credits for ages. I actually want to explore and do damage and stuff. Okay, just explode on us. We care not, we're made out of asteroid. Your explosives do nothing against the asteroid, which still needs to be renamed. And actually, let's put these back into point defense for now, just so if they get any closer we can destroy them. Uh-oh, seeds about to hit us. Oh, the seed didn't grow. No, the seeds do grow, but thankfully we have a laser which can burn them off. I don't want to be covered in seeds, unless we find the farming faction, because then we can try and steal some of their really weird seeds which spawn loads of credits, well, sorry, loads of ship resource. Slowly we make our way over there. Tally-ho, enemies! Make way for the asteroid. Now, any enemy with long-range weaponry is going to be our bane, unless, of course, they're using drones, because then we have so much point defense, the drones will really do absolutely nothing to us. But there we have it, we now have enough for the scouting shards. So what do? They have a beam weapon, a range of 1,200, although they are classed as being independent, which by the looks of things simply means they won't really be under our control and will go off on their own little adventure for as long as they survive. And how long do they survive is the question. It should say here somewhere, I think. I can't see any. I don't know then. It'll survive for eternity for all I know. The problem is that's going to be 400 resource, which is a lot of resource. So what could we sacrifice for that? We could sacrifice the converter for a short period of time. We could sacrifice the converter and our factory. That could actually be done. Or both of these terrible weapons, and then the converter. Or both of these terrible weapons, the factory, and then maybe a couple of the side weapons. Yes, okay. Just for now, of course, we'll put them all back later. So we need somewhere to put this, and we only have one of them, so obviously it's going in the middle somewhere. So it's going on the front, in the most vulnerable place we have. Also, that doesn't go... Oh, it's got 2 connection points. Why does everything have to be so annoying in this way? I still haven't found one square that turns 1 connection point into 2, which is really, really irritating, it must be said. Because it simply means when you have 2, making it symmetrical is impossible without putting it on the side. So for now, then we'll just have to do this. Put that there, or there in this case. Grab the cube. There, it's symmetrical, everything's fine. Oh, why did you spawn that one in as well? Really, it would do better on an edge of something, but for now, we'll just put it like that. Then, we need to find an enemy, so what I'm going to do is go off the edge of the map and come back the other side and see if we can fight one of the enemy agents. Spawning our single drone! Go! There he is. How effective is it? Not very, but saying that, we did only just fire one. That's really not very effective at all, is it? No, we're going to need a lot of those if we're actually going to get any use out of it. It did kill something, I mean, our drone did kill something, and it does seem to be under our control. It is targeting what we're targeting, but maybe that's just a bit of chance. The ones I want are the ones with the shields, which I believe are these ones, or these ones. I think it's the protecting shards. They actually come with their own shields, which just seems really cool, honestly. Either way, I'll be right back once we've traversed the empty space between one edge of the map and the other, and hopefully we can try and fight an agent. Our sheer health and bulk versus what is no doubt probably a much better designed ship, considering we are pretty much just an asteroid at this stage. Did all my drones just hit each other? I think they did. Well done, drones. You win. Thankfully, an agent has actually turned up nearby, so we don't have to go all the way to the other side of the map. I've also decided to spawn in a load of the little building cores, so this way I'm still generating a ridiculous amount of resource per second. Now this is a little bit nerve-wracking, as it seems that the enemy have a very explosive weapon. By Anonymous. Oh wait, no, that was actually just called Anonymous, it's by Jack. Taking manual control of the weapons because I don't trust them to target what I want them to target, honestly, being in point defense mode. Let's quickly create a new ship, because I feel like we may die here. Just because we're big doesn't mean we're powerful. Where's their leader? Also, long-range weapons, not good. Not using the drone weapon at the moment, because it just didn't seem worth it, honestly. Although now I'm starting to wish we had it, purely because it'd be a bit of extra attack. No, we are doing well so far, we are surviving. Spawning in distraction vessels behind us. Still don't like how long range several of them are. Wait, why is the agent way up there now? Perhaps one of the agents died while the agent leader died to one of the lesser wild type factions. Lesser wild type factions, the natural factions that spawn in. If they die to those, they don't always count as being destroyed, and sometimes simply transfer leader. That's what I was trying to say. Also, I'm going to try something out in a second. Once I've defeated or been defeated by an agent, I'm going to try and go back to where our cities actually are and copying its design into my little area here. This way, perhaps the buildings will actually try and spawn off that, because they are being spawned by us, so if we don't know the pattern or the actual type of building, perhaps that's what's causing it. Of course, I didn't know that before, but who knows, maybe it'll work. Carrying on slowly towards the agent. I'll be there in a minute, just give me a few hours. I feel like we need to make two different types of ship. The actual mothership kind of ship, and then a regular battleship, because this is taking way too long to get anywhere. Well, spawned in 2 drone launchers, let's see if it'll be enough to actually kill their leader. Taking a lot of damage from pretty much everywhere already, but if we just focus, maybe it'll work. Darn it, longer range than us, not exactly the best. But there we go, he got close enough because he's a bit silly. And we took advantage of it. Fantastic. We do seem to be able to take quite a lot of damage, which was pretty expected, to be honest. What we need is to upgrade our weapons. We need the longer range lasers, which do 1,500 damage per second. Just for reference, the lasers I'm using now, the little lasers, only do 75 damage per second, so it'll be quite an upgrade, honestly. Our drone launchers are down. Oh, our back section of rocks have been destroyed, although we have killed lots of them in the process. Sadly, I don't currently actually have my factory, so I can't spawn any ships to sell this resource. Still doing okay, though. I mean, we've killed a lot of them. Thankfully, they're not quite as long range as I thought they were. That's it. Come on, nice and close. Trying to turn as fast as possible, which is sadly remarkably slow. Come on guys, you're already dead, I've already killed your leader. We win! Let us stay winning. After a very long battle, they did eventually kill me, but it took a grand total of 10 minutes and got remarkably boring incredibly fast. So, now I'm here, I'm going to quickly learn all the different blueprints and see if we can spawn in our team. Now that there, the subcore. That is what makes the... That's actually what you fire, isn't it? That's what you fire when you fire the weapon. How come I can do this and I don't know the core? I do remember you could actually unlock the core a while back, but I can't see it anymore. Is the sub-core still here? No, we have the sub-fracture, we don't actually have the sub-core, which means we haven't learnt it. However, we can edit this. Can I put the sub-core into my palette? My palette, rather? No. That's a shame. Either way, now we know this pattern, perhaps we can use it. So let's fire the thing again. No, okay, it must be something to do with overcrowding, just too much in the universe, because we do have a lot of them, and a lot of our teammates can actually spawn them in as well, as you just saw. So perhaps it's just oversaturation of the world. Regardless though, I'm afraid I'm all out of time for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Reassembly is a series you wish to see continued in the future. I'll try and see if we can actually get this working for the future. It would be lovely if we could, because it is a little bit sad that we can't take these with us, but if we can't, then we'll just continue to build up our own little fortress on the asteroid. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye. Next time, we're unlocking the Mega Laser.